Hi there, this is Jerry. Welcome to my channel. I think it's called I'm a Glass Girl. I'm a stained glass kaleidoscope and jewelry artist, and a few months ago a friend cleaned out their mini storage and gave me a bunch of paper crafts, and I've fallen in love with junk journals and especially printing them down from downloads off the internet. This is one I made that I wanted to show you because I actually turned it in from a folio into a little bit of a book, and I was pretty happy with how this came out. And I've got another one I want to try and do and show you how to. You can adapt these. You don't have to just make what comes with it. So this is the opening here. It's like a trifold. I've got a pocket here. The papers are just gorgeous. They're from Back to the Source on Etsy. This is a little mini pocket folio. Not a folio, what is it? Mini pockets. And this is from Curio by Bespoke Designs on YouTube. It was super fun to make. It's one of those 12 by 12 inch one-page wonders, and then you add your embellishments to it, but it worked out super cool. I was really happy with it. There's side pockets and top pockets. This is some of the extra papers that came with from the source on Etsy as the papers, and I printed these out and glued them and taped them back to back to make them a little more sturdy. At the time I started to do this, I was just using HP brochure paper. So it wasn't till later I started doing cardstock. So here's a little flip pocket here. Has a cute envelope from Temu, little miniature envelope. And I did some eyelets. I kind of beat that one up with a hammer. Again, that's a double-sided one because I actually printed on 2 pieces of paper and glued them. I did learn the thin tape I had in the little handy tape guns, which I thought was awesome, didn't really hold, so I went back and glued everything, and I do use the wider white tape. This works pretty good, and I'll use the little, this is what I'm talking about. I'll use these for the insides of things, but I glue around the outer edge. But the inside keeps this paper from warping, so I do like that. So these are the sideboards I added. So it wouldn't be just a little flat folio, and I learned to do that from Julie at Camellia Crafts Designs on YouTube. So now I'll show you what this, well, I made a mess of that. But anyway, this is kind of fun. These are earrings that I made back in the day that didn't sell, and I can reuse them on this. So to make the next book, again, this is Back to the Source. You basically get beautiful papers to print out. And this is Springtime, I think, or Spring Garden, and then I got some called French Garden. They actually kind of overlap with each other. And you get one instruction page that shows you to take this, which I've already glued together before I decided I was going to make more of a book out of it. And this flap will hook, let me get that out of the way so you can see. Will hook there and be glued. Then this used to be hooked to that piece like this, but I cut it apart because I already decided I was going to do the booklet. So this flap would be right here like that. So you're going to have that. Then you're going to put this inside cover on like that, but that gives you this little trifold thing, and with your downloads you get tons and tons of cool stuff. And I like to use all of it. I don't want to leave some of it behind. I've done some little eyelets here. So lots of things for pockets. Just a journal card. These could be fun stacking them. I also, there's a background page you can use to print on the back of some of your ones that are going to be double, because now I know instead of gluing things together. Also, I am using cardstock. I believe it's 60 or 80 weight. So these are all printed front and back. This is the background, and this is the front. So they're really pretty. I've inked some of them, haven't inked all of them just yet. I'm waiting to see which ones I'm going to jump in and use. So I believe those are from one kit, and then these might be the, yeah, this is the springtime kit, because it had these tickets. So that came with the initial larger journal papers here. And I printed this out a month ago and kind of forgot what I was going to intend to do with it. I also make kaleidoscopes, so I'm going to wrap some cardboard tubes to make kaleidoscopes with some of this as a companion piece to this. So what I'm going to do now is take chipboard. I watched Julie on Camellia Crafts Designs do the little book, and that's how I made this. And I made one with roses in it that was also back to the source. But it just turned out so pretty and was really able to load them up with goodies. So these are going to become part of a book. And to do that, I'll wind up cutting the flaps off. But I took measurements. And 1 millimeter chipboard, it's called. It's, you know, or a cereal box, whatever you've got on hand. I like the chipboard, it's pretty firm. And I measured my back and side pieces and got these measurements without the flaps. And then this, of course, is going to be this pattern piece, but it's 2 3/8 to here, and they're all 5 7/8 tall. So this will actually get a pattern cut from there after I cut it out. So what I did was, here's the one that'll go on the back, and here's the wide side. And obviously I've already glued that down, so that means I'll have to print another one of these out and then fold it over this. And it's nice because when I was doing the HP brochure paper, before I was doing cardstock, which is what this is, this actually saved it because it's perfectly strong because it's wrapped around the chipboard. So it didn't hurt anything. These are going to be my little sideboards, and they are 3/8 of an inch each. So I will take a minute to cut these out. Oh, I wanted to point out something that worked really well for me, is I measured them on here and used my triangle here. And that's a really neat way to line it up. You can't score because this is too thick, and I tried it scoring and it just wandered, even the X-Acto blade. So I marked the whole thing. Mark, because these are 1/8 inch deals, and then same from down here, the 5 7/8. This worked really well with this. I'm going to use it all the time now, and so I will be cutting these out, and then we'll bring the tape out. So when I was cutting these out, I noticed this was about 1/8 of an inch short, if you can see right there. So I'm gonna redo it and line this up right here, and that line is not 2 3/8, it's actually 2 1/2. Okay, so I already marked this at 5 7/8 again. Haha. And of course, this isn't going to work. I'm going to go down here, 2 1/2. Excuse my head. That was kind of flaky, but 1, 2, 3. Yep, that should work. That should be 2 1/2. And then press this down. And I love these pencils. They're mechanical pencils from the dollar store. So you can get in right next to this and have it work out. It looks odd. Let's see first how we do. Yep, that's pretty good. And then this is what I meant. What I'll do once I cut the long side and that side, I'll just cut those. I'll mark it and then cut. I think these scissors are from the dollar store, but they're like $8, so I figure that makes them the ultra deluxe dollar store scissors. But I could be wrong, but they cut great. Westcott. I got some fancy ones because my hands are older and they're tired. And they're, they're okay. They're ergonomic. But it's kind of sloppy in there. I'm not a huge fan. I think these actually cut better. And they're pretty comfortable. But I'm a sucker. I always like trying anything. My thumbs are about shot. But strangely, I really enjoy cutting. Okay, so there's that one. Press it down into there. See, I can't see anything now. I could a second ago. Let's scribe a line there. Cut those corners off. I'm going to cut just inside of that because I was marking outside the paper, the pattern paper. There we go. Well, that should work perfect. I want them to be hidden. And like I said, this flap's also going to come off. Okay. Now I can do the tape. And I'm trying to confuse myself, but I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. You would think, well, this is kind of neat because this could be help strengthen and go across, but we really want to make the chipboard, and then I'm going to use this fabric for the 3/8 inch sides because it works so good. It's kind of stiff, it's a ribbon, but it's flexible and strong, so it worked really good. The first piece I did, I used washi tape. I always want to call it wasabi tape. And that wasn't a great plan. So I'm going to have to print another one of these to put over this. So I'm not going to cut that off. I'll actually print all this up again and make the little folio because, it'll be cute too. It's just, I want to put more stuff in it. So I've got that. And this is this side. These are going to go in here. Of course, I've lost one already. Back. And one more fabulous side if I could find it. But I can start taping. So I got this tape And I actually love it so much I ordered 3 more rolls right away. It is wonderful. To use because it has like a cheesecloth kind of thing there going on. Very strong. So let's see how fumble-fingered. Actually, I think I'll try and put this on. I like the idea of, okay, I haven't done this in a little bit. But what say we put it on here, on the narrow part to the midway, because that's kind of easy to tell. This is where foiling glass, I should be really good at this because you have to eyeball it and get it straight and do the difference. Okay, so what I've done is that's halfway across, right? I'm going to do a second one that butts up to that. And then I'm going to lay this flat. Now one thing, oops, that I'm not doing, that Julie did is she rolled the tape over onto the front. I did do that. I wasn't sure why, but I imagine it strengthens or something, but I'm just gonna put tape on the front too, and this way there won't be a little bump under there. Maybe from rolling the tape over the corner, I don't know. That could be why. So it hides the corner, hides this. Okay, so skinny one, and when I find the other skinny one, I'll do the same thing. So I've got this at 3. I want 1/8 of an inch between this and the other edge. So it's going to be on that one. And I didn't use this last time, and I thought this would have been really handy to get it straight. Oops, see, it went out a little bit. Still pretty good though. And yes, of course, the tape sticks really good. Looks a little too narrow here. Bad. Mistakes. 3 1/8. I have an idea. So what if I used my gadget here again? Because the problem is this is wiggling, and I'm not sure what line it's on down below. But if I do that to it and put it on 1/8, there it is. That should be right. And I'm holding it down with my right hand, and then this comes in. Oh, that's not even. What did I do? Oh, it was the other one. Wake up. It was the front. So if I bring it in right here, right, shouldn't this go in straight? Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Okay, so I'm holding this down because it's pressing on that, but it's not sticking to the tape. And instead of fiddling with all the tape and trying to get it right, there we go. That's pretty good. Actually, it looks a little off again. I must pull it up here when I'm working on it. Okay, and then this one also needs to be over 1/8 of an inch, and I think I will just eyeball it because that seems probably to work as good as anything. But because I've got this square, this square, this square, that's coming out pretty good. So this tape will get applied, and it's double-sided. And I will do all the pieces once I can find out where the other little guy went. And that will go on next. Then this will go on. And okay, I have printed out another piece and I thought I should share this with you. So again, the papers are Back to the Source PL. That's how you would look them up on Etsy. And I'm gonna score this. On my little scoreboard here, I did make a line here so I could at least track one of these. You know, some of these you cut a little bit irregular anyway. So you want to be able to at least track one line and have it straight. So I'm scoring this. This is the new one I printed. And these are how the pages come. So these are on 60-pound cardstock. I also have 80-pound that I use for cards and things, you know, tickets where it's needs to be sturdier, like these, where it's a standalone, but you want it to be real firm. So these are how they come, and you cut out. I went ahead and printed a whole new set because, like I said, the one that I have folded, I'll go ahead and make this little folio up as well and show that because I'm sure it'll be gorgeous too with these papers, and there's tons of pockets and things I'll be able to use. So I scored that so I can bend it. And oops, looks like I got it off a little bit, but you know, that's kind of a good thing because what I want to do, it's got to go around that cardboard. So I'm going to actually move it over just a hair. You can see there's a line here that's about 1/8 of an inch. So I'm just going to kind of roughly push it over, and now it's just kind of a nice little gimme here. Come on. It's not going to be perfectly flat because it's got 2 or 3 little grooves. Okay, I'm going to start over. So my issue I was having is, see, there's that little bit of, it's not perfectly folded in two, and I'm following these lines. But if you can see there, I need a second line a little bit from the other one, and I'm just kind of mooshing this around so that I can kind of roll it over the edge of the chipboard. So what I've done, I just kind of want to coax this into going over the side of the chipboard because, you know, it has a little bit of width to it. It's not going to be a flat fold, it's going to stay put in there. And that's pretty nice right now. And it goes all the way over like it needs to. And also, I noticed the same thing with this one. See, there's just the fold. Okay. So when you put the cardboard up to it, you're a little bit off here. I think this was off. This, when I folded it, originally wasn't great. So it's in a little bit. What I'm gonna do is put another crease in this, just to kind of roll it and coax it to go around that chipboard. So it's got the originals about right here. Not pressing super hard because when I first did this, like I said, I was using brochure paper and I kind of mangled it a few times. So we want this to, you can use this, and I want these to be even. So I'm rolling it over and pressing with my fingers, just kind of making a rolled edge basically on that. And then again, of course, they're front and back. They aren't going to show because it's going to be buried. So now we have a good little edge on that. That's perfect. Again, that's showing just a little bit, but it's going to be okay because it's going to be covered with the tape that's going to go on the sideboards. We'll wind up, I'll cut this down, of course. I won't have that seam on there. It'll be like that. And this is going to cover the 3/8 sideboard and stick over under the other panel. So we've got that. And I found the little 3/8 inch piece. Oh joy, I think I was standing on it. So back to the tape. I'll go over halfway on the 3/8 inch. Luckily, you can kind of see through this tape a little bit. It's a little bit more at the top. This will let you take it back up until you actually press down on it. So that makes it nice. That is good enough. Cut. And put it on the other side. I'll run it out just a little bit so I can cut it nice and even because that's not perfectly straight now. Cut. Cut. The little lines are handy. It's like a little grid work. Just kind of pressing that on there because I don't want it to give way. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to put this on the back and I'm going to put it over 1/8 of an inch. I think I will do my trick with the triangle again, but okay, I want it right there. And skinny, I don't know which line down here I'm lining up to, so oopsie, got loose. I have a corgi down between my feet here. I'm probably gonna, oh, there she went back. She's adjusting, taking her nap. Let's see if this will work. If it's not stuck to my finger, it's on 7 5/8. Okay, this is awkward. I think, you know, after I did it 10 more times, I'd be just real zippy here, but this is something I'm just trying. Because every time I let go of this, there we go. Probably should have lined it up on here first and then held it up to here, and this is 7 1/2. And that looks pretty perfect. Okay, so I do like this. I just need to get better at it. Not very coordinated yet. Pretty good. You want to leave that little bit of space so as you bend in, and we're going to cover it with things, there's room for it to bend. And I just thought of something. I want this one to be a little bit longer to be perfect because one side's going to go over the other cover. Oops. So let's see. In a perfect world, I don't know if is that going to matter? Because it would, this will just go down anyway. Well, I think, let me see if I can take that off. If I just take it off this one side, oh, that's not so bad. So these were 3/8. I will make, oops, I might have to do that over. Yep, see, I wrecked that tape, darn it. So, where is my sheet? Okay. So I've got it here, and 3/8 would be here, but I decided to go a half on the right side. And my awesome pencil is over here. I have to walk over a Corgi and a Sharpie to get to it. Because I like to lay right on my feet, which is fun. I love having the company, right? So there's the 1/2 inch. Okay, so cut that out. Anyway, that tape is from Temu. I think I would actually love to learn how to do the signatures and make actually more like a real book. Kind of binding, do different kinds of covers. I just learned how to do the faux leather. I did it with craft paper and a really neat cicada wing paper it's called, but it's beaten from a tree bark. And it's like craft paper colored tissue. Okay, so let's see. Since I already took this off, now I have to do it 1/8 and just eyeball it. Ah, what did I do? What happened? No! Oh my goodness. How did I cut it out of... Why did that get too short? That's weird. Okay, here we go again. Okay, so we're going to make this one a 1/2 inch by 5 7/8. And I'm just going to mark it. And it's harder to really line this up perfect with this because it is so narrow now. It's not kind of faking me out here, but I still have one factory line that I can use, and this should be straight. Okay, one more time. I'm gonna check now. I'm paranoid. That was crazy that that was a little bit too short. No, that's okay. I have no idea. I thought I was just marking right along the same line I'd used, but I guess not. Okay. Now we'll try and put it on here. 1/8 inch over, up at the top. Eyeball it at the bottom. I mean, you've got these lines, but that's pretty good. Way better and easier than my first one I did. And I'll go ahead and I want to get these down good and tight now that I'm happy with them. Okay. So now this is going to get tape put on the little guy again. This is all going to be covered up, so, you know, you can be a little bit off and it's not the end of the world. Like this is, I can see that's just not too bad, but there's a little bit off. Now, if you want to, instead of having these raw edges, like I said, Julie on Camellia Crafts, wrap the tape around. And actually what I could do is just leave these and then do that on the other side. But I should have done it so they wrap to the inside probably where it wouldn't show. So now, the good news is that this is actually wider. And that's how I did the hydrangea one, this one. Because when you really load it up, see how that side's, that's probably the 3/8, that's a half. Because this is going over this side of the cover. So it just makes it lay nicer. I don't know why that's off there. But, yep, see that's down just a hair. So, get this all lined up again. There, better. Okay. I hope you're learning from my mistakes, and then you won't have to make those yourself. This is, let's see, the third one I've done, but the other two were right at the beginning of when I started this a few months ago, and I haven't done this style since. So this is kind of like learning again for me. So tri-fold cover, fold, fold, and see how that's a little bit bigger. And once this is all covered with all the goodies and stuff, and you have this full of things, it will hold it properly. And that just makes it nicer. Otherwise, this would have to press in for it to go across and be flat. This way you can really snug it up and everything works great. So there's that. And I will put tape on this side. Now, another reason, I just thought, here's why I didn't put it over, because when I did that and I had the other tape on, I had to start peeling this tape backing off in order to use this other tape on this other side, and it wasn't a lot of fun. Now see, I could do it now just because I'm leaving a little extra to cut off. Okay, so you have it that way. And if you roll it over here, obviously you got to peel that off first. I'm not ready for that. So I am not going to do it. And because I don't know any better, it might be a bad idea, but for the time being, I think it'll work better for me. So we're going to do it on each seam. And we're going to butt those up to each other. Thusly. And then cut it. And then we'll burnish it when we get them all on there. I wanted to add, when I was not worried about going in and printing more papers and printing all this stuff, I found the coolest thing is HP Instant Ink. And, you know, I'd heard about it before from a gentleman that printed quite a bit. But I thought, oh, well, you know, I don't want to pay for cartridges and have a subscription and blah, blah, blah. So listen, here is, I signed up for it. They never say what the cartridges are going to cost. I signed up for 50 pages, $3.99 a month. It could be photographs that you printed. They didn't care. And they sent these big ink cartridges, which actually will fit in your printer. This is the one you buy in the store. Because the first junk journal I did, I actually went through about $50 worth of ink on it. And I thought, well, this isn't going to work. But it did have a lot of intense color. Anyway, this is the old that you buy retail. This is what you'll get when you sign up for Instant Ink. And of course, you know, they send the black ones too, but see how much difference the size? So this lasts quite a bit. I went right up to 100 pages for $5.99 a month. There is no charge for this. It's just the $5.99 a month for 100 pages. They send you the ink, free shipping. You put your old ink in here and you recycle them back to them. And I just love it because I don't worry about printing more stuff. It's just fine. And you can go up and up and up. You know, you can go a lot higher than that, but so far 100 has worked for me just fine. I still want to use everything I've got, and I'm getting organizers so I can find stuff, because that's a pet peeve of mine, is if I can't find it later to use up. But it's pretty nice not to have to worry about what the printing's going to cost you. You can also get paper from them, but it's just paper, not cardstock, as far as I know. I think it's just plain paper. I actually have two printers now, and I will probably, once I run out of ink on the other one, I'll probably also put it on a subscription. They're both HPs. One was given to me by my friend that gave me the paper goodies, because she had gotten one that was smaller. They went RVing, and so I got these two printers, but you know, they work great. The printing's good, and now with this ink, because that's always been a problem for me. I used to print my catalog when I did wholesale with my stained glass kaleidoscopes, and I got a laser printer then to do that, and it cost a fortune still, because I was doing about 12-page catalog, all full color. It was a lot of fun. I enjoy doing that kind of stuff, and I don't mind spending a lot of money on it, I guess, for me, because I enjoy the creativity of figuring out how to do the Photoshop of the products, and of course all that's improved tremendously. I just started using Canva when I started to do this, and I took a print sprint workshop where you print goods and mail them to people for an Etsy shop idea. And I kind of want to integrate the print sprint ideas and into beautiful templates using these junk journals and artwork, which, you know, I have to make my own, of course. So that's what my goal for right now kind of is. It's a little bit fuzzy, but this is nice. It's flexible, especially when I pull the backing off. And when I pull the backing off, I'm trying to think what would be next. I have to cover this part, right? So that will be this fabric that I'll cut down a little bit. Get these rough sides down because we want it flat under there. So I'll cut this down to the width of that, and we'll put this on front and back. And then I'd be able to attach the paper pieces. And it'll work. Let's see. See, I've been doing it this way, and that's inside out. So it's this way. There we go. Back. Somebody, a smarter me in an earlier moment, marked it. So I will be gluing those up. All right, that's it for tonight. So I've taken the ribbon, and I realized if I started it on the inside and ran it clear around, that would cover these edges of the tape, take care of that problem I was worried about. So again, I have to figure out, whoops, this is the outside. This is the inside, and this one's 1/8 of an inch wider than this side. So I ironed the ribbon. I cut the edges off and offset the ribbon about 1/8 of an inch. and then I'll cut it, and that way it will not go clear out on this, but it'll cover plenty in there. Then the paper for the sides and the back will come up over this and cover it. And the edges of this will be hidden. Hope I can find some more ribbon like this, because it's almost like it's starched. It has a really good body to it, a strength that's nice. Okay, so that'll go on that side, this will go on this side. And I need to peel the tape off the back now. Guess I should do one at a time, huh? Just gonna eyeball and center that. That looks pretty good. And I did enough that it would overlap. Okay, that's all right. Now we'll do this one. There's some out here, but that's fine because we're gonna put the paper covers on it shortly. That'll be the next step after getting these on. Again, I'm using the scoreboard just to help line stuff up, make it straight. These will be the same length because I'm using this to square it all up. Finger press that. I'm holding it pretty snug over. That's straight, so that's okay. I'll be gluing that down. But what's nice, now you have that finished edge there. And no tape will be showing when we're all done. Okay. Bottoms up. Press it real firmly against there. There's no gap. Top down. Line it up. It's not absolutely perfect, not such a big deal, because it's, like I said, this will be covered, so you're only going to see that 3/8 inch edge and the 1/2 inch edge. Okay. And I'm using the pH neutral PVA glue. This is great. Ideal for bookbinding and paper projects. It dries clear, but it remains flexible. So, good stuff. I do need to get one of those little tips like folks use. Whoops. Got a wee plug in it. I have a little tool I dig that out with, but let's see if that got it. Anyway, the crafters I watch, they've all got a fantastic little nozzle that is sure nice. This is still kind of plugged or it'd be coming out like crazy. Okay, where's my tool? Got my little dental tool I like to use. Open this thing up. Of course. Oh, there it is. Here we go. Now it's going to come out on its own anyway. Oops. And I like to smear it and make sure it's right to the edge. So there's not a little bit of an edge starting to roll up later, because that seems like that happened to me early on. So I just smear the whole thing. And look at that, how that blends in. Wow, that got lucky, huh? I don't even see a line. Now this one's the same way. That's weird. Not intentional, but I'm glad it did it. Whoops. Can't hold on to stuff. As my hands have gotten older and I've always crafted, my grip kind of goes astray on me. It's very aggravating because I just thought, boy, when I get older, I'm going to have time to do all the crafting I want to. Not realizing that my hands would be tired. All right. This is good and flat. Gonna burnish it real good to the tape. You can see that kind of cheesecloth background in the tape. Sure keeps the strength, keeps the flexibility, so it's perfect for this. Okay, there we go. There's the sides. Now you're going to go about constructing the rest of it. Like so. This would be the back. Oh dear. There we go. I still did this backwards. Look how pretty that's going to be. Isn't that cool? Let's see, where'd the other side go? So since this was upside down before, and it does go together this way. And it's fine. It's just the left side's a little bit taller, but it does have to go, I do want it to go over this. And this is 1/2 inch, 3/8, so it's fine. I just did it all backwards, but still okay. Because I forgot about that being right side up. Okay. I better get that other piece. Getting easily confused here. Okay. That's the outside. All right. So this is how everything's going to line up. That's good. And then I've got that other piece that goes inside. Boy, I was going to have all this figured out before I turn the camera on, but I'll just do lots of editing. Okay, here we go. There's the inside. So this will go like that. All right, that'll work. Yep. Okay. The magic is going to happen here. So move these up out of the way. This is definitely how they go on. They're starting to stick because of that tape. But here's the part where I said how I like to use the tape. And this is about 3/8 inch, I think, which I'm sure it says on here. And I'll run these about every 1/2 inch. Skipping a little down here. Probably running out. So they're about every 1/2 inch across. I don't know if you can see that little strip of glue. And then I will glue around the edge here gently. And I'm going to smear it with my finger. So there's no lifting on the very edge. I want it to be very, very flat. This is going to get opened and closed, maybe ribbons against it, maybe booklets rubbing against it. And you sure don't want an edge getting caught. Whoops. Normally I wouldn't be doing it over my scoreboard, but because of the camera setup, so I'm just going to go real quickly and do that. What I like to do is get this right over the edge of the table and sweep out with my finger over the edge of the table, and the table supports the back of the paper, so I can do that a lot quicker. But because of the camera being in one spot, so am I. Okay, this was going to be put that clear into there. And I've got that kind of nice rolled edge. Pushing it clear in. Push it against this edge, that'll help. I'm not pressing down on anything really yet, just pushing it in. But now that it's pressed down, I can see I should have gotten it up here a little bit more, but inking will help camouflage that. Because once it's down, the tape is stuck. The glue dries very quickly. It's surprising how quick it is. And then see, you have this little edge of fabric. This will get inked, this little dab of cardboard. Okay. I get another tape gun. I'll use that one. And then out. These are neat because they're just so quick versus, you know, unrolling the tape and the bigger white tape like this, which I still like using if I'm doing something a little heavier duty that really needs to hold, but because I'm going to glue around the edge of this, this works pretty well. So you push down, and I just kind of give it a little quick lift right at the end. The one time I didn't do tape or glue across the middle of something, it sure as heck not bubbled up, but boy, you could kind of press on it and it was a little lift there. And that's just not cool. It should lay very flat. So again, not tons of glue, and like I said, if I had the little nozzle, that would be way fun. but I'm going to go back and smear this clear of the edge. Okay. Now the trick is, where is the edge here on this? So I'm going to close those. Just kind of hovering above to, it has to come towards me a little bit. Please don't be sticking yet. I need to be able to get a better grip of it. Okay, I was able to move it. Still just hovering above the surface. And now it needs a little bit back. There. Just want a little bit of an outline. Top and bottom are good. Okay. Just burnish it down, make sure it's really nice and snug. I actually started doing one when I do the mini pocket flip books. I iron like right now. And boy, does that ever set it up nice, and it's super flat, like it's a single piece of paper. Little hard on the iron. What I found out I needed to do, I think, is probably use some parchment. There we go. Anyway, use a piece of parchment paper between the item and the iron. I was able to clean glue off of it, but I'm sure that's not a great thing for it. Okay, this will be the last one, and this is the inside. That's why that background. So I know this is the outside here. So again, remember these all have kind of a multiple crease here, so it's like a rolled edge. So I'm going to use this tape. I have some 1/8 inch of these too. They're smaller and they work great. This is super good and quick. This one's showing up better, see, because it didn't gap on me. And if it catches some bump in there, get that out. Okay, now we will quickly put the ink on the ink. I was just thinking, did I ink these? I don't remember. Put the glue on the edge. Got to work kind of quick because it'll start to set up and you can't move it very good with your finger. So again, I'm just pressing it to the very edge. It's super thin little dab of glue out there because the bead's pretty small. Okay. And again, I'm just going to get that edge right into there first. And that's way down. So I'll move it a little bit. Come on. Doing some coaxing here. Felt pretty good. See again, of course, that's the beauty of the papers. They actually are made to fit things properly, and then we cut the flaps off. Now again, I can see a little bit of cardboard there, but I can ink that. You won't even notice it. Same as down here, the brown cardboard will get inked. And it'll just blend in with the edge of this. I love these papers too because they're already inked. Look, I did everything right side up even. I'm so proud. Okay, still got this one. And this lays on its side, so the print for that's that way, so I'm going to put this that way. Still feel like I did this upside down and backwards, but we'll just go with it. Sometimes because I'm left-handed, I'll try to design something, or for instance, a jewelry that, or a necklace that clasps. I'll do it so I think a right-handed person can do it easier. But the whole world's kind of backwards out there, so I don't know if I'm doing it to make things easier or not. I guess I should look at commercial things, see which side they're done on. But in the meantime, glue. I'm referring to how this printing is. To me, it's going the wrong way now, but I worked in a bank. There was 5 tellers and 4 of us were left-handed, and our money faced the opposite way of the right-handed person that worked there. So there is something to that. We see things from a different angle. Okay, I'm going to fold that down. Just kind of hovering again. Okay, these are not as big a sideboards as the other pieces. So, and we want the, cover the cardboard top and bottom. Come on, fingers. So I'm going to slide it down just a little bit. And back this way on the bottom. Oops, not that much. Okay. That's pretty good. Feels about right everywhere. Ooh, it's just so pretty already. Okay, now with my other booklet like this, I put in pockets and whatnot, but what I did do was I put in some eyelets here so I could run elastic cord through and make little mini folios or booklets that could go in here. And of course now I can start putting pockets on. The other thing I might have done, if I knew more what I was doing, I guess. Oop, that seems like that goes over a little bit further. So I probably should have trimmed that just a hair. That might take some more work there. Anyway, this will all get inked. I'll do eyelets. We'll work on pockets next. And I did not put in any type of thing to hold it shut yet, because I was able to do this one later. And I believe a video I had seen, they just basically wrapped ribbon around it or something, but I went ahead and put this in, and then I printed another pocket to hide the brad. And over here, what did I do? Oh, it's hidden by the booklet, so it's under the booklet there. So I think I'll just do the same thing with this one. In a perfect world, you could plan this ahead, put it in, and then put all this on this side. You could just glue this side down, put the brad in with your closure, and then flip this down. And that's just too much for my brain to handle all at one time, so I didn't do that. But this one still worked just fine. And I think I'm happy doing it a little bit later because I kind of work on these and develop them as I go. And I don't even know yet what I want to use for the closure, but that's sure going to be pretty. Love the colors and the papers. All right, so I will sort out a few things and we'll work on the next part pretty soon.